Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. If you ever wondered if you're in your country, you didn't get no K cars, no little engine cars, and then you say, which is the smallest Toyota that is being sold in my country? Well, I can tell you exactly by my experience, this was the one that we got as the smallest Toyota in our market, which was in North America, not counting the Scion, which is a different brand, a sub brand from Toyota, but I'm talking about Toyota itself. Well, was the one for many years for the North American market, and let's do a proper presentation. What I got for you right now, it's a 143 scale 2005 Toyota Yaris. What can I say about this nice looking 5-door little hatchback? In North America, we didn't get no K cars. None of those K cars showed up in our market. There were obviously those engines were quite small. And I'm talking about the North American market because that's the one I'm most familiar with and I can speak more about. But I'm sure in other parts of the world, K cars were quite popular. I know in South America they were very popular. And in Europe, I'm sure they have some type of momentum. Maybe not the Japanese brands, but they got the European brands with the very small engines. Because European um, folks can probably agree with me that there's a lot more uh, acceptance in the small market industry or sales. But again, so was the one that we got, and let me tell you, it was quite accepted. First, because it was a Toyota. Toyota, whatever comes from Toyota, it's at least here in North America, it's very accepted. Toyota has a very good reputation, being reliable, safe. Even the one before this it was called the Toyota Echo, and it was a very basic car. I mean, basic in there was no sunroof, no leather, no. I don't think it even came with power windows, but it was very well accepted too. It was a very strange looking car, but being strange, I think that's what made them different. And this one is a little bit in that area too, is the front end that's very like different from other models. It was just an attractive model. Now this Toyota Yaris that we're looking at right now, I tell you right now, it's the second generation of the Toyota Yaris. And this one, uh let me tell you before I forget, this model right here had different names, depends on what part of the world. In example, Japan, it was called a Toyota Vitz. In other parts of the world, it was called a Toyota Echo, even though it was how you call it, a more modern model than the Echo that we had here in the States. And Echo, it was called in like in Australia. Okay, no, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. The Echo was the first. See, okay, this is what happened in USA, not Canada, but in USA, we never got the very first generation of the Yaris. The Yaris that we got was the Echo, which was a little sedan, two-door sedan, quite attractive. And that's the one that we got as a first generation. When in 2005, the Echo when disappeared, and this when the Yaris we got. I said we because in Canada they got the first generation Yaris too. If I was a little confusing, please excuse me, but I just want to clear that out because it didn't sound proper. I see in Europe they used to call them the Daihatsu Charade back in 2011 till 2013. Okay, so different names, quite confusing when it comes with different names, but at the end of the day, it's the same model. Okay, so this, like I said, this is the second generation of the um Yaris itself. Let me give you the different engines this model came out with. I these all these engines are basically from the first generation, the second generation, but there's different ones. You have a 1.0, that's the only one with a three cylinder. You have a 1.3, a 1.5, a 1.6, and a 1.8, which I'm not sure which was the 1.8 because I never got to see that in the States. But those were four cylinders, except for the first one, the rest of them were four cylinders. And then you had a diesel engine, not in the States, I guess in other parts of the world. Diesel engines were a 1.4 four cylinder. Okay. Transmissions, you got a 5 speed manual. Then you had a 6 speed manual for the diesel only. And then you had a 4 speed automatic. All right, guys. I'm going to let it go around a few times and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. Before I forget, this gorgeous diecast is made by Minichamps. Great quality brand. Minichamps, I think, is even better than the Rev at points. Sometimes I can say that, and sometimes I think it's the opposite. Sometimes I see the Rev doing really good looking diecast, even beating Minichamps. I guess it depends on the model they did in that moment. All right, guys. Comment below. What do you guys think about the Toyota Yaris or the Vitz or however they call it in your country? Did you like them? Were they popular? Do you still see them around in your roads in your country? Did you ever get to drive one of these? Actually I had a friend of mine back in the days. He had the first generation of the Yaris because he lived in Canada, so he used to come to the States and he drove one of these. It was quite interesting because I didn't see them in the model that he had in the States, so I used to look at them with like, oh, that's a cool car, man. But anyway, going back to what I was saying. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this model. Don't forget to give me a beautiful thumbs up that I always appreciate. Thank you so much for subscribing, for commenting, for sharing your thoughts with me and the rest of everyone. Don't forget to share with your friends the videos and the thumbs up that I always request from you guys. And don't forget to click and subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. Take care of yourselves more than ever, as I always say, and goodbye.